Hello, welcome back again, everyone, to the Found Pod. It's friends occasionally not disagreeing as we continue on here with our third installment tonight of our Sizzlin Summer Spectacular. We downgraded tonight. We traded in Justin and Matt. Joe is here instead, so Brett and I will be joined
Hello,
by Joe
Latvia.
tonight. Hello, Latvia. There we go. Joe's with us tonight. We'll be counting down songs 60 to 41 in this episode, if I can get my numbers straight here. Um, let's give these guys a chance to do their little plugs tonight. What do you guys got? What's been going on out there?
I'll just go in here. I know, yeah, I told you guys about this already, but so here too that my wife several months ago or some weeks, whatever, I don't even remember when it was exactly, but she surprised me with tickets to go see Weird Al. And I was pretty excited about that because that's somebody I've been a fan for quite a long time, and just never took the opportunity to go watch. And so he was playing at the National Cherry Festival in Traverse City, Michigan, and we went over there. And I honestly, that was easily one of the best shows I've been to. And I say shows like specifically because like it was more than just a concert. Like he does like stuff like in between songs, and like he's playing like videos from all the crazy stuff that he's made over the years. And so it was like a whole experience, and it was really fun. It was musically, it was really great as well. Like I honestly, I think he sounds better live than he does on his albums. And he still got it at whatever. I mean, he's got to be like, I don't even know, 60, almost 70, something at this point.
I would
I'll be up
think so,
there.
yeah.
He sounds great yet. And like entered so he comes from backstage when like starting the show, and like before he even gets to the stage, he climbs over two trash cans while singing a song. Like doesn't miss a beat, just keeps on going.
That's
It's
amazing.
like all right, that's how this show is gonna be. And
Like that were in the way, or he just did it to do it?
like I think he set them up there as a prop
Yeah.
purposely, because they were like not like necessarily in the way, but like he went out of his way to like climb over them. But yeah, anyways, it was a really great show. It was very fun. The whole crowd was getting into it. And I definitely something I would be definitely interested in going back and seeing him again sometime. So I enjoyed it that much.
Wondering how many of the songs on our list he has parodied. I know there's at least a few.
Ooh, yeah.
Anything else, Brett?
Uh no, I'm good.
Brett, I wanted to ask, whatever happened with that spider you had?
Oh
I do
well,
not want to know about this.
Did he come out of hibernation, or?
I actually do have more story for that.
Oh,
If you want to hear it, so recently we found another spider in the house, another jumping spider, and
I'm taking my headphones off.
so we captured that one, and like immediately the kids named it Larry, so we had Gary and Larry
oh no.
spiders. But we let Larry go the same day, so we're back down to just one in our possession. But he's still doing good. We are keeping him going. So
Gross.
Interesting. I mean, I don't know how hard it is to keep a spider alive, but I give you credit because I would have thought he died like months ago. So
I'm surprised that he's lived as long as he has as well. So
fair enough. Joe, what have you been up to?
Well, not much. Okay, let's move on. No. It's been a while since I've been on the old podcast, so I wanted to mention a couple movies that I have seen. I believe both of which were on my list of most anticipated of the year. The first one we saw a few weeks ago at this point, and that is From the World of John Wick, Ballerina.
John Wick's colon? Gross.
Yes, he shat Anna de Armas out of his colon.
Yeah.
And boy, what a movie did they make. Honestly, I was not expecting a whole lot out of that movie. I love the John Wick films, but spin-offs are often a little bit hit or miss. And I have to say, I loved Ballerina. I thought it was a better John Wick movie than at least one of the actual John Wick movies. Anna de Armas, I think, is great as an action star. There were like so many awesome over the top kills in the movie. Like it was just pun intended if you see the movie, but it was a blast to watch. So highly recommend that if you're into the John Wick series specifically or action movies in general. It's just a lot of fun. The other movie I saw is Jurassic World, weirdly no colon, Rebirth. Brett, I think that was your most anticipated movie of the year,
It
maybe.
was, yes.
Have you seen it yet?
I haven't. No.
Okay, well, I won't give any real spoilers, but I will say that I thought it was okay. It's definitely not the worst of the Jurassic movies, but I I'm glad I saw it, but I don't know if I ever need to watch it again. It was there were parts that I enjoyed, but it was kind of disappointing overall. But I mean, again, not the worst of the Jurassic movies.
Yeah, I saw several spoiler-free commentaries that were very similar to yours, and they kind of I had thoughts of going out and seeing it opening weekend, and then I was like, maybe I could wait.
I mean, hopefully this isn't spoilery, but one of my biggest issues is that leading up to it was written by the guy who co-wrote the first Jurassic Park movie with Michael Crichton, and they said that they're trying to recapture the feeling of the first Jurassic Park movie. And apparently, what they meant by that was they're just blatantly revisiting a lot of the plot beats of the first Jurassic Park movie. Like, there are a number of scenes that it's like not exactly shot for shot, but it's like, okay, that's that scene from Jurassic Park. So that was kind of a bummer. But
Hmm.
anyway, I digress. What about you, Cody?
Not a ton here, really, that I can think of. I have been spending more time watching Peaky Blinders again, and it's getting pretty tense. I'm probably about midway through season 4, and it's been really good. I think I haven't finished the episode I'm on right now, but I think from the credits that rolled, this one will have Tom Hardy and Adrian Brody both as guest stars in it now. So it's getting to be a pretty star-studded affair as they're going through the show. But it's kind of one of those shows where just, shit goes wrong every single episode, but they have to find a way to overcome it. Reminds me a little bit of Ozark in that way. Maybe that's just how Netflix writes shows. Or was Peaky Blinders original to Netflix, or was it BBC or something and then came over? I
I
can't
have no
remember
idea.
actually. I can't
I don't
remember
know.
The,
actually.
the only thing I know about that show is Nick Cave.
Yes, who interestingly does not seem to be the theme music in season 4. So I
Hmm.
think they switched it up, or at least this episode I noticed it. Maybe I tune out typically because it's been the same song, but uh yeah, beyond that, just playing some more Zelda Tears of the Kingdom and finally progressing the storyline pretty much as we go through.
All right. Do
Also,
you have the Switch 2 upgraded version?
I haven't done
Like,
all
did you
that stuff.
download the
No,
thing?
no, I'm still playing it on one.
Boo.
I think I'm fairly far on like the story of it, but I did get something in the game yesterday that was like, there's this many of this giant monster left in the world and this many of this, and it was like 55, 73, and I was like, where the fuck are 73 of these huge things at in the world? But the world is huge, so it's possible, I guess. I don't know, it's crazy. It made me feel like I was not as far along as I thought I was, but I don't know how much of that will do. But anyway, ah
Well,
boy.
I look forward to enjoying that game soon.
Yeah. Can't wait for you to try it out as well. Pretty crazy what you can do with all the spells. But anyway, do you guys back remember when we were in the summer of 60 Fond?
69?
Back in the summer of 60 Fond. Let's do this, guys. Hey, I got a question for you guys as we jump back into our countdown today. I wanted to ask you guys for a little on-site question on this one. What impact do you think movies, particularly of the 80s, but possibly since then as well, that have 80s songs in them, what impact do you think that has had on your love of 80s music and songs in general?
I think we are probably going to see over our discussion tonight that it had a pretty major impact on, I would imagine, at least a few of our choices here. Um, I mean, I don't want to get too spoilery, but there are definitely a couple songs that I voted for that are specifically tied to movies of the 80s, and my love of said movies definitely led me to loving the songs.
Yeah, we obviously like earlier in this list we already had Dare, Stan Bush's Dare from the Transformers movie, which probably wouldn't have made this list had it not been that movie.
Yeah.
Uh, so it definitely, the fact that some of these songs are very linked to major movies in the 80s has propelled them into being popular and being on the list here. As far as the movies themselves and my how much I like 80s music, I guess I don't think it really has had that big of an effect. Like I don't think it's changed how I view 80s music, just having them in movies, but certainly there are songs that I think of fondly because they're in movies. So
Yeah.
to that degree, it does.
Yeah, I'd probably be somewhere in the middle there, I think. Looking through this list of ours, like it'd be a fun challenge. I don't know how many movies I could come up with that would match each of these songs, but like most of these songs, I would think I could think of some movie, if not like exactly like I know I had seen it or heard it in a movie and could like maybe think of the scene that it was in to kind of associate with that song. Some of these songs on here, especially some ones we have coming up here, definitely like without the movie it was from or in or featured in, like I probably would not have that song on my list or I wouldn't know it as well for sure. So it's an interesting thing. I was trying to think about this the other day. Like 80s music is just so much easier for me to know. Like when I hear an 80s song that I don't know, I'm like, where was this song at? Like all along. Like it happens once in a while, and I'm just like, I don't know what this song is. Because I assume I kind of know all of them. And I think I realize it's probably because the 80s had probably a lot less music than the 90s, which had less than the 2000s. I think that's the same reason like the 60s music is so famous because there was like 100 artists, you know what I mean? Not literally, but it seems to have like squared every decade or something how many people are out there, so you just kind of know everything. And this might have been like the last decade where that was kind of like the end of it, where, the 90s I'd be like, could name some rock for sure, maybe some pop, maybe some rap, but not a lot of the songs I wouldn't know still. So I don't know, just some thoughts on that. But anyway, all right, as we get into this today, just if you're joining us for the first time in this episode here in the middle, first of all, shame on you. Go back and watch the first two episodes or listen to the first two episodes wherever you podcast at. But briefly here, what we all did again was picked songs off of a large list, 100 each, and then we went through and ranked all the songs, put all those numbers together to come up with our cumulative here that we're going through in this list from 100 down to number one. And before we get started here, I did do a statistic in the first episode. I believe that we had 18 artists that made up, I think, 44 songs off our list. And I have to put out an apology here on the air to Miss Pat Benatar because I said she had two songs on the list. It turns out she has three songs on the list. So there we go. And
Fond
we
is a
do.
battlefield.
Bond is always a battlefield. It's literally right there in the name almost. Um, we'll have some more debuts as we go through our episode here tonight, and I think we're ready to get started. So let's kick it off with our number 60 song, which coincidentally, um, is that a is that an accurate statistic? Let me check this out. This can't be right. This is an accurate statistic. Wow, this is our first song on the 100 that four people included in their top 100. So a lot of love for
Wow.
this one. Number 60, we have Prince When Doves Cry. Joe's got the high score. Joe, would you like to comment first on this one?
Oh boy. So you guys know, the listeners might not know, that Prince is one of my all-time favorite artists. I had the pleasure of seeing him live twice before he tragically died way too young. Um, I feel like among Prince fans, Purple Rain, the album is seen as maybe being a little bit overrated. It's one of those things where people get kind of hipstery about it, and because it was such a phenomenon and like everybody had that album, diehard Prince fans kind of look down on it and,
Prince
go
was in
towards
Die
some like
Hard?
deeper cuts. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it had been. It was such a phenomenon.
Fair enough.
Um, but I love the album. I mean, the movie Purple Rain, the album Purple Rain, it was, I feel like it was one of the kind of major milestones of the 80s. Like, my background right now on our Zoom call is the poster art or cover art from Purple Rain. Like, everyone had that t-shirt. You still see random like 12-year-olds wearing that t-shirt who probably don't even know who Prince was. Um, and When Doves Cry is just, I mean, it's a jam. It is, I think, iconic for a number of reasons. Um, from the very start, it starts with this like weird, super short, shreddy guitar intro that almost feels like it's a separate genre from what the song becomes, but it just works somehow because Prince is such a genius. I mean, Prince was kind of famous for playing pretty much all the instruments and doing like everything himself on his albums. I could be wrong, but I think Purple Rain was one of the first exceptions where he did have a little help from some of his bandmates, but he still mostly did everything himself. But When Doves Cry is also famous for not having a bass line on it. The it's basically just guitar, drums, and synthesizer, or guitar, drum machine, and synthesizer. So like the actual instruments used in the song are like super spare, like not a lot of different instrumentation going on, but it still sounds like this big kind of epic song. Um, yeah, I mean, I feel like it is just one of the iconic songs of the 80s.
One of the things that catches my ear when I listen to the song, uh, it is the fact that the vocals are kind of like not always sung necessarily. It's more like spoken as much as sung, and it kind of is like an interesting kind of funky kind of just the way it progresses and the rhythm of the vocals is interesting, and it comes across as very catchy, but it also is like not what you would expect necessarily from a song.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of what makes it kind of special and memorable.
Yeah, I know that you mentioned it. As it goes on, it's almost like Prince doing a call and response with himself or something. Like he does have the more kind of like flat, spoken verses and stuff, but then he also is doing the backing vocals where,
She's the other side
yeah, like he
inside.
does he does some like theatrics and stuff. It's almost like he's like responding to himself in a way.
Mm.
Yeah, you hit my second note right on the head here, which is like his singing voice for most of the song is really just like someone talking. Other than that, my other note I have is I just love the bass in this song. So um, it's a good Prince song. It's not one of my absolute favorite Prince songs, I don't think, but I did. Well, maybe it is. I don't know. I ranked it. I wasn't the one who didn't rank it, so I got that going for me, I guess. But it does have really fun background rhythm. You're going to hear me probably say the word rhythm more tonight than I ever have before on this podcast, but just listen to all these again, so that's kind of where I'm at with that. Anything
And
else?
yet I don't think Rhythm Nation is on the list, you
Uh,
bastard.
well, it's true. It's true. All right, let's go to number 59 because we're on
Fuck
this
everyone else is
same
what I will say.
artist. It's Prince again with Purple Rain,
Fuck
Joe's number one song.
everybody else who voted on this. It is insane to me. I mean, Brett did also vote for it, but he put it fairly low on his list. I cannot believe that I am the only one who put Purple Rain even like remotely high on my list of the greatest songs of the 1980s. It is absolutely iconic. Everybody knows this song. It is a beautiful song. It is I don't even have the words for this song. Um I think I have a I'm just realizing this about myself. I apparently have a thing for songs that are like lyrically don't really make a lot of sense, but just kind of convey a mood and feeling. As with my favorite Talking Head song that you guys discussed at an earlier episode, This Must Be the Place. Um, who knows what the Purple Rain actually is? I don't know if Prince himself even knew,
It's people.
but there is just something about just the music and the lyrics to this song that just catch me in my feels. It has one of the greatest guitar solos of all time. Prince, one of the greatest guitarists of all time, definitely underrated in that regard. And it is just a soaring epic. Like I love a ballad that kind of starts out slow and then builds up. This I love a song about like a breakup or like, a kind of messy love situation. And I feel like the song does kind of build to a head, and when it explodes, it is that guitar solo. Like it almost feels like that says something that like his lyrics could not capture. Um, but yeah, like in my mind, I will say, we will get to my number two song much later on the list, and I was torn between that and Purple Rain for my number one spot, but I had to follow my heart, and my heart wants to bathe in the purple rain.
We didn't follow Heart. That's an issue I'll have later in the countdown. Uh, I'll go next just because this will shock Joe, but this is by far the famous Prince song that I knew the least growing up. Like
What?
Raspberry Beret, Little Red Corvette, you name it,
Oh,
like they're all there, but this was not one I knew that much. Um, I don't love the song, but I do feel like it has a really epic feel to the song, so I could definitely see why people enjoy this one quite a bit. I've also never seen Purple Rain, so there's probably that as well. Maybe I need to get on
have
that
you
and
seen
do
the
that.
movie 8 Mile?
Yes.
Then you have seen an inferior version of Purple Rain because 8 Mile is literally a remake of Purple Rain.
Did Brittany Murphy die after Purple Rain too?
No comment.
Okay, fair enough. Also, I heard a rumor that Purple Rain was what he called his is that true? Like
Is
when he,
what
like when he I was like Purple Rain.
I I don't understand. What is when
Okay,
he
I
what?
could I could be wrong. I thought I heard
Are you saying
rumors.
jizz? Are you saying Purple Rain is about Prince jizzing everywhere?
I'm not because I am a upstanding citizen, but maybe.
I'm just trying to interpret it because I had not heard that theory. So
That's what I was saying. Yes.
let's try to
So
clarify.
yeah,
Gross,
that was on
dude.
Wikipedia. I just edited it earlier today. So, Brett, what do you got on Purple Rain?
uh, nothing new. I was going to say the same
Get
thing
off
that you.
Nothing
Wikipedia.
more.
Not about the Purple Rain bit, but
It's like I
it's
just
just
read it on Wikipedia.
I should have saw that. Damn it. Uh, no, what I was going to say literally was that I think Purple Rain is the song of his singles that I've heard probably the least. Also,
Mhm.
it just wasn't on the radio stations here. And just like I said, like all the other singles, basically, I've heard many more times than Purple Rain. So I'm much more familiar with them, and I think just strictly for that reason, I recognize it as being iconic, but it's not something that is kind of like implanted in my memory of 80s music.
Fair enough. Joe, any last comments on your number one pick?
You guys are lucky I don't have a guitar right now, or I would be
Ooh.
purple raining all over you.
There it is. There it is. All right, we'll move up to number 58. This is Chris Isaac with Wicked Game. I had this one the highest at number 8 on my list, which both surprises me and doesn't surprise me at the same time. He's not particularly an artist I have any affection for, period, but this is, or at least has to be, one of the top sexiest songs ever written. Like, this is
Is it?
just
I was going to
fantastic.
say, did you rank it this high because the music video gave you some awkward pants feelings?
The music video, I put a note in here that I remember it being sexy as well. I don't really remember it, and I didn't go back and watch it, but the song itself, like I could listen to this song anytime, any day. Um, And yeah, it's basically to put here, just to try listening to this one and not get steamed about somebody that you have the feelings for. Very soulful, very easy on the ears, very different, especially for like the songs we ranked here in the 80s countdown. I don't know, I just like this one a lot.
Yeah, I have similar, I guess, thoughts on it. It is like it has a kind of a beautiful quality to it, as well as being, as you said, like it's just kind of widely seen as this kind of sexy sounding song. Uh, it, just the way that he sings, the way he kind of like styled his own voice, uh, is really kind of it's a very kind of ear catching sound to it as well. Like it's not like all the other voices you hear coming out of the 80s. Uh, you know, very much like an older kind of vintage kind of sound to it, which is kind of cool.
I didn't vote for this song, but I do quite enjoy it as well. This is a song to me for some reason I was surprised to see that it came out in the 80s. I would have pegged this as like 90 or 91. Like
Yeah.
I feel like there was a weird transitional period in the late 80s and early 90s where music started kind of changing and but at the same time, I mean, as Brett kind of said, this song has a weird kind of like retro feel, like it almost feels like it like Elvis or something,
Yeah,
like
that's
kind of
true.
like an old school, especially with his voice, it's like an old school kind of croony thing. But I mean, I like the guitar on this song. I agree that it is very sexy. I do remember the music video, which is also quite sexy. People rolling around on the beach half naked in black and white.
I remember a lot of sand.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
But yeah, great song. Just I don't really associate it with the 80s enough to have voted for it for this.
Fair enough. All right, speaking of movies, let's check out number 57.
I am the man who will fond for your honor. What?
You got it. You got it right there. Peter Cetera, Glory of Love at number 57. Joe had this the highest at number 25.
I'll be the fonder that life is dreaming of. For some reason, I don't know if it's because I grew up in the Chicago area, wink, but I have a weird fondness for Peter Cetera. And I also grew up loving the Karate Kid movies. So speaking of the tie between the connection between 80s music and movies, this song was prominently featured on the soundtrack to The Karate Kid Part 2, which is the film that I always loved. I know a lot of people don't think it's as good as the first one, but it is in my heart, damn it. Um, and this is just kind of like a quintessential 80s love song. And damn it, it just works for me.
This is one I did not have on my list. I I really don't think I've heard it a lot uh growing up, and I like it, but it's definitely not. It just wasn't on my list for sure. I don't have a lot to say about it otherwise, really.
Yeah, not a ton to say on my end either. Just a really good, pleasing song that really is like an 80s. I mean, if it didn't come from an 80s movie, you could see how it'd be used in every 80s movie, which I guess
Yeah.
then would kind of make it an 80s movie song. But anyway, this came out in that lovely classic 1986 romance film, One Crazy Summer, with John Cusack and Demi Moore. Except it didn't, but multiple websites have that listed as being on the soundtrack to that movie, and actually lost a half hour of my life the other day trying to find if this existed or not. I don't
That's
think it
funny.
does, but I also didn't know that it was from Karate Kid 2, I'll be honest.
What?
I just assumed it was from the Karate Kid
Man.
because I don't think I've ever I don't know for sure that I've seen the other Karate Kids.
I have not seen Karate Kid 2.
I love that movie. Daniel-san and Mr. Miyagi go to Okinawa
Ooh,
and
get a sword?
a rivalry between Miyagi and a childhood enemy is rekindled and it's great.
Interesting.
Daniel falls in love with a Japanese girl and I believe that is where this song comes into the movie.
Mm.
Spoiler alert, he kicks Elizabeth Shue to the curb apparently at some point.
Mr. Miyagi
Anyway,
does?
yes.
Ramos!
Daniel's son doesn't have the heart, so Miyagi sweeps her leg. I don't know. It's something
What
Karate
happened to
Kid.
her? Wax on, wax off.
Uh,
All right. Goodness gracious. All right, let's go on to number 56. We have the Pixies with Where Is My Mind? I had this the highest, way up at number 22. And this was a song that I barely knew, I will say, prior to about 4 years ago, 3 years ago. How this jumped so far up all of these wonderful 80s songs for me. This and also the song Jane by Jefferson Starship, which I also had never heard before, are both entrance musics to a wrestler named Orange Cassidy in AEW. He comes out to this song, The Pixies Where Is My Mind. He's a like slacker dude who wrestles in jeans and a jacket sometimes with sunglasses, and it just fits. And when the song comes on, it was fantastic. But that got me into the song, and since then I've listened to the song many times on my own past that, and I think it has one of the most unique intros of any song I've heard, which is really hard to stand out that way with as many songs as I've probably heard in my lifetime, I'm sure. And then there's also like a really interesting outro with like a little screeching whisper on the end as well. So really just kind of a different feeling song on this one.
Yeah, definitely. Like if I had, if it was not on this list, and you just like asked me what decade is this song from, I would have easily said 90s. Like it
Mm,
definitely has more of that sound to it. It like has like almost like a grungy kind of sound to it without like the hard guitar playing. And it's just kind of like weird and a little trippy. Um, just oddly enough, because I was talking about the Weird Al concert earlier. Uh, Puddle's Pity Party opened for Weird Al, and he did this song
oh wow,
on stage. And honestly, I would put his version on this list rather than this song. But
interesting.
that said, um, it is a fun song. I definitely wouldn't have put it in the 80s though.
Hmm. Anything from you on this one, Joe?
no, to be honest, I this is a song that I did know, but I weirdly did not know it by the title. Like I was like, what is that song? And then I listened to it and I was like, okay, I kind of know the song. I agree with Brett. To me, it does sound more like a kind of early 90s like rock song, but I like it. It just is not really something that I have, a history with.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, let's keep it going here. Let's go to number 55, The Bangles with Walk Like an Egyptian. This is Hudson had top on this, but he's not here. So, Joe, you got the next tie.
I love the Bangles so much. No, so I think you guys kind of talked about this on one of the previous episodes, what your kind of metrics were for your rankings. I was torn between songs that I genuinely love by like some of my favorite artists and songs that I kind of more objectively recognize people love from the 80s and feel, representative of that decade and of that time. And it's like, if you're going to make a list of, the like stereotypical 80s songs, what songs would be on that list?
Yep.
So that was kind of the constant tension I had when trying to do this ranking. And for me, this song is in the latter category. It's a fun song, but in my mind, it is also just like one of those like required listening 80s songs. It's not necessarily something that I have a strong personal attachment to, but I don't it wouldn't feel right having a list of the 100 greatest songs of the 80s without having this song on there, I feel like.
Yeah, I kind of see it that way too. It's like very iconic for the 80s. It has that a certain sound that's very like they're having fun with it. It's like a song that they wrote a song to be fun rather than to be a piece of like music that is like artistic necessarily. So it's very like kind of poppy and fun in that way. And it was on my initial list, and then it got bumped down off the end because I had to put other stuff in. But uh, yeah, overall, a fun song, deserves to be here.
Yeah, for sure. I think you probably got a lot of the sentiment right already, you too. But yeah, I just had a really fun song on this one. A lot of harmonies on this that are fun. We might be able to go through the top 100 later and make a best 80s whistling songs list, of which this one might make the list of because there's some good whistling in here. But yeah, I agree. It's really just it's one of those songs that's the 80s to me. Um, and Justin has sent in some comments on this one as well. He said, a super fun song with some fun whistling. There we go. Complete nonsense song that encapsulates the 80s to me. It's got a great beat. It's kind of lighthearted and playful. He says, these days I can't hear it without thinking of season 3 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure because they used it during the end credits. So now when those opening notes hit, I immediately reminisce about a ragtag group of adventurers and dog going on a globetrotting adventure to stop a vampire from using an ancient Egyptian arrowhead to give people superpowers and take over the world. Seriously, if you like anime, watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. It's an absolute fever dream of a show and worth every minute. Well,
That
there
is
we
the
go.
most Justin Henry comment I've ever heard.
I would agree that is probably old school Justin Henry. I think we unlocked a new guy here with this countdown. He's gonna come back to us later tonight here yet. So, all right, let's go up to number 54. We have a new debut, Guns N' Roses, who have 3 songs on our countdown here yet to come. Counting this one up on number 54 with Paradise City, and Brett has the high on this one.
Yeah, another one here, like Joe kind of voiced that thought earlier that I'm just shocked that more people didn't have this somewhere on their list. But also, like we did, like I have addressed this in previous episodes of this, and just like how you ranked things. Like I wouldn't necessarily say it's like it's definitely not like an iconic 80s song from the standpoint of you think of the 80s music as being more of the pop synth kind of side and not the harder rock side necessarily. But I mean, this is just it's such a fun song, a rock song that just has just this great sound to it. And, Axel's voice is just really good here. Just the lyrics are playful and things, and yeah, just a really really great song. I definitely had to put it up high on my list for that.
This is going to sound like a Def Leppard lyric, but it's not. Guitar, drums, vocals, harmonies, thrash, whistle. Amazing. That's like the first 45 seconds of this song in order. It's really remarkable when you see how they like layer the instruments in on top of each other. It's so good. The instrument work in this song is so good. The rhythms are so great. Song is really simple, but it's super, super catchy. And I also remember in elementary school, 3 kids I didn't like perform this for air band. So screw those guys. Also, what an amazing outro for a song on this one as well. This is just a fantastic, fantastic song.
Meh.
Okay.
No,
Huh?
I do love the song. I love Guns N' Roses. I mean, this was one of the casualties of what I was talking about before. I probably could have made my entire top 100 list out of like 4 bands that I really love that released great music in the 80s, but I kind of forced myself to limit it to 1 or 2 songs from at least a couple of those bands so as not to overwhelm my ranking. So iconic. I think this is an iconic song of the 80s. Agree with everything you guys said. I love the song, but there's at least one Guns N' Roses song that I prefer, and we'll talk about that at some point later.
There it is. Chinese democracy. Let's wait for it, people. All right, coming in at number 53. She is back. Pat Benatar. This time with the
Boo.
song We Belong. Justin has this high and he has some comments, but I'll give you all of my comments first. Great song, good vocals, not high on my list. All right, next up, here's Justin's comments. Justin said, "For my money, Invincible is the better song of hers, even though it didn't make this list." Feels like some shade there. But Pat Benatar is incredible regardless of what she's singing. She's got a lot of power in her voice that adds so much energy to her songs, regardless of whether they're about love or loss or fighting the good fight and refusing to give up. She's timeless, and I always smile when one of her songs comes on. Look at this guy. Anybody else on this one?
Man,
That's okay if you don't have a comment.
no, I mean, Pat Benatar is another artist who obviously is heavily associated with the 80s and had some pretty good songs, but
Hmm.
this is just not my favorite song of hers. I mean, it's okay.
I had this at 90. Three of us had this ranked. It's a good song.
Yeah, I mean, I do really enjoy the chorus on this. It's a very um, very cool sound to it, and there's some beauty to it. Uh, it just wasn't enough to make my list overall.
I
I
also keep.
mean,
Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, for the record, the best Pat Benatar song is "Hell Is for Children."
Don't know that one.
Pat Benatar has a song called "Hell Is for Children,"
Fair enough.
just so
Okay.
everyone knows.
Keep forgetting
It's
that
it's
she's
actually about like child abuse. It's super dark, but
oh
I just
boy.
always love the title.
Oh boy. She's like one of the last like five concerts I went to. I keep forgetting that, but that's weird. Let's go. She was opening for Pink. That's the connection there. I didn't just go to Pat Benatar. I could have, but I didn't. Let's go up to number 52. Metallica is back with the song One. Brett has this highest. Brett.
I I mean, this is again talking about just like big bands that like I could easily put a dozen Metallica songs on the list if I really wanted to, because they're probably my top five favorite artists. So I love all their music, but this one I definitely I put very high on my list because it's so. I mean, everything about it is just really great. Like the opening guitar where it's almost acoustic. It's like just very light on the distortion on the guitar, and it just has this really kind of meaningful feel coming into it. And then obviously just eventually gets just ramps up into this like really really heavy riff, and just very meaningful lyrics and subject matter, and just another one where like the video was very like dark and had a lot of weight behind it as well. So this is probably my top, I don't remember exactly, like top three or four Metallica songs overall. So it definitely needed to be like very high on my list.
Yeah. I don't have a lot of notes on this one. I do enjoy it quite a bit. Just the energy in this song is what always gets me when I listen to this one, just as they ramp it up and just gets crazy in there. I know it has a lot of like war implications and other things in there. I don't know that I've ever fully went down the rabbit hole with the lyrics on this one, but I do enjoy the entire song start to finish on my end. So I had it at number 52 overall. And Joe, got anything on this one?
Not really. This is another song for me that I really like. I love Metallica. I do tend to be more a fan of Ride the Lightning as an album goes, but this is definitely one of their kind of iconic songs. I just had to have room for other songs on my list.
Ride the lightning. That's a weird way to pronounce hardwired to self-destruct. Why would you say it that way?
I believe you mean 72 seasons.
Hashtag not joking. I prefer hardwired self-destruct over that album, but that's not the point.
No, that's why you're wrong.
I've really, really loved that album more and more since we did the Metallica podcast. It's crazy. All right, let's go on. Let's go on. Number 51, people. And in this 10 stretch here, we got another debut of a multiple time artist here, Bon Jovi, coming in for the first time of two appearances. You Give Love a Bad Name. Justin has the highest, and he did leave us some comments here. He said, I think at some point we've probably all fallen for someone who's hurt us in the end, and that's this song in a nutshell. Maybe we should have noticed the signs from the get-go, but hindsight is 2020, as they say, and I think this one does a great job of laying out how we can be so blinded by the positive qualities in someone that when the other shoe drops, it's a sucker punch. On a lighter note, there's a fantastic anime music video, AMV, for this song, using footage from Excel Saga, a
God damn
show
it.
about an evil mastermind and his inept henchwomen trying to take over the world, one of whom is head over heels in love with him while he couldn't care less. Hilarious show and a really fun AMV. He seems like he's getting plugs in as we're doing this.
I was gonna make fun of Justin for being the only person to ever have an actual emotional connection to this song, but then he threw in the anime thing, and I could make fun of him for that instead.
There you go. There you go.
Moving forward with this recording tonight, I hope that his remaining comments all tie into anime somewhere. That would be great.
I tell you what I learned the last couple
I hope they
episodes
tie
we
into
did,
hentai. What?
we did with Justin was before I wanted to read Joe's autobiography of his romances. Now I kind of want to read Justin's after the last couple episodes he was on here for. So, uh, other comments on this one.
I I think what's really cool about this song is that like the best part of the song is the chorus, where it's just very catchy and very like energetic, and they start off the song with that. It's like right out of the gate, the very first second is like the best part of the song. And so it's like very easy to get like into it immediately, like when it pops on. But yeah, it's like this is one of like probably everybody has sung it at some point. I feel like it's just like it's one of those that it feels easy to sing, or that it makes you want to do that. So
I feel like I'm just saying the same thing over and over. I love some Bon Jovi. Who doesn't? I like this song, but there are just other Bon Jovi songs that I think are a little more iconic, and I wanted to vote for.
Blaze of Glory. It's all good. We'll get to it. Don't worry, buddy. For me, I just said every Bon Jovi song that I've heard, and I'll be honest, I've never listened to one of their albums all the way through, but they're
You've
like
never listened to the iconic album Slippery
Slippery
When
When Wet.
Wet?
I have not, no. Um,
Have you ever seen those words printed on a pair of underpants?
we
I'm
lost
not
Joe,
saying
but
I
we'll get
have,
back
but
in
I'm not,
there.
not saying that.
Um, on my end, this is just, I don't really think it matters on the Bon Jovi song per se. They always fall into the same category with me, which is like a very good band and a very good song, but never great. Like they're always super enjoyable. I always really enjoy them. I'll sing along to all the ones I know of theirs, which is still probably like 10, even though I don't know an album all the way through. But uh, yeah, they're good. They just didn't make it high on my list. That's all.
Fair.
Yeah. All right. Next up, get ready. Justin's got a diatribe coming up here. Number 50,
Oh my God.
Peter Gabriel's In Your Eyes.
Which anime did this was this used in that changed his life?
Boy, I'm going to have to scroll through these comments. Okay, hold on. Now, Justin, look at this confession right out of the gate here. Justin says, "I know I can seem like an irreverent jackass sometimes." This is me reading his quote, but I do have a chewy nougat center under that snarky exterior, so to speak. I one time joked when I showed Justin my slippery when wet underwear. Wait a second. No, no, no.
Wait, he showed himself his slippery when wet underwear? That's
I
weird.
don't know, man. He's a weird dude. A good love song can really get to me, and this one has always had a spot in my heart because it's all about casting aside all your defenses and artifice and letting your inner feelings show through. It's not something that happens often, nor should it, but you should. But you know you've met the right person when you can look into their eyes and feel your guard just drop. Or at least hopefully it's the right person. Otherwise, we're back to you give love a bad name. But trusting someone enough to let yourself be vulnerable around them can be a beautiful thing, and that's this song to me.
Justin, I'm sorry I have been remotely giving you crap. That was lovely.
You're terrible. You're terrible.
Cody, it looks like you're the only other person who had this ranked.
Oh, great. Well, I'll say my comments here. So I mentioned in some earlier episodes that I don't like any Phil Collins songs or Genesis songs, but and almost no Peter Gabriel songs, and this was the reason I said it, because I do enjoy this one. Another beautiful song from the 80s, definitely biased from the movie that this one was prominent in, Say Anything. And this is a song that really builds in just the right part, I think. Also has like a really fun false chorus that comes in and then pauses, and then they kind of hit you with the real chorus right after that, which I thought is kind of fun and unique also. I like this one quite a bit. So, either of you
I,
guys have anything not to make fun of Justin?
I also really love this song. It just, yet again, is one that I just couldn't find a place for on my list.
Heartless bastard.
Again, though, with the connection to movies, I can't hear this song without picturing John Cusack holding the boombox over his head outside someone's window. But yeah, I think it's a classic 80s love song.
I do enjoy his voice on this. And Genesis in general, but it I don't have a lot to say. I really don't. No, I can't add much to this. I like the song. It wasn't on my list.
Got him, yeah. You heard it. Okay, we'll keep going here then. Number 49, well, maybe not surprisingly, but another big band from the 80s had at least four big hits. Culture Club comes in with their only appearance on our countdown here with Karma Chameleon, and Joe had this the highest. Joe.
Copy and paste my comments about Walk Like an Egyptian and go.
No,
This is just like one of the most 80s songs I couldn't not include it on my list. So here we are.
fair enough. Brett, anything from you on this one?
Um, you really just Joe just hit on the nail on the head there. Like it's very like iconic. Like I think if you ask somebody to name 80 songs, this would come up very quickly. Um, but it's not one that I enjoy necessarily. It's more like, and I didn't have it on my list. It's one that I thought about putting on the list just because it is iconic, but not since it's favorite songs of the 80s. It was not on my list.
Fair enough. I've prepared a little paper on this one to talk about the real meaning behind this song. Karma Chameleon, of course, from Culture Club, famous for lead singer Boy George. This is a song that's very much about, changing who you are because you're afraid to be who you are. So you have to almost shed your color and appearance like a chameleon. And I think this song really goes deep into today's world of America, wherein, now I said this is another one of those wacky 80s songs, and the only real note I put on this, which was kind of fun, is it's just a really 80s riffic song, and the image, the sound, and the fun it sounds like they're kind of having here, all of which I think really is just the 80s. And there's that weird noise they make through this song, and I don't know what that instrument is. If it's a horn of some sort or a harmonica, but they're always like wah 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 wah, and I'm like, I don't know what that instrument is, but like that instrument makes this song. So
That's very
uh,
true.
there we go. All right, well, we'll move on then. Joe seemed pretty excited about that one for having it the highest. Let's keep moving here. Number 48, surprisingly, we got the boss coming in next year. Bruce Springsteen, Born in the USA. Joe's high again on this one.
Yes. I don't really know what to say about this song. I mean, it's honestly not my favorite Bruce Springsteen song, but I think it is a very important song, and I do think it is a great song. Um, Springsteen is an interesting artist because his sound has changed a lot over the years. And this album, this is the title track off the album Born in the USA, was kind of a breakthrough for him in a way. This is when he really, I mean, he was already like pretty well known before that, but the album immediately preceding this, I believe, was Nebraska, which is an album that he mostly recorded by himself with just like him and a guitar and is like super stripped down and like him just bearing his soul. And then he pivoted from that to make this just like huge bombastic album, Born in the USA, which had a number of big singles on it, one of which was this song. And as we all know, this song is famously misused and misunderstood by a lot of people. Um, because musically it is very like upbeat. There's like a strong upbeat. It's got kind of like a strong drum beat. I mean, it's got like
Hmm.
soaring like synthesizers. It sounds very anthemic. But if you listen to the lyrics, it is about someone who grows up in like a blue collar town and has no direction, so ends up joining the military and going to Vietnam, and then gets treated like shit when he comes back, while while everyone likes to try to pretend they're patriotic and thank people for their service. We have a pretty long history of not actually treating veterans right when they return from war. And that's really what this song is about, but it has been misappropriated by Republicans for various conventions and gatherings, and there's just a lot of political energy tied up in this song, which I appreciate.
Yeah, I definitely would be one guilty of not really like fully understanding the lyrics and like just how what the meaning is behind them. For me, this definitely like this song is like kind of tied to a point in my life when, well, to put it bluntly, like life felt much better than it does currently. Just the state of everything just was felt like it was bright, and it just like you say, the song is very like anthemic and has energy behind it, and the way he sings the vocals, where he's basically like kind of like almost screaming them. Uh, it has a lot of it sounds great. It's very very fun to listen to. So it has that place where it feels like a point in time when things were like a lot better. So
Yeah, we mentioned in an earlier episode on here too, we're not going to take it by Twisted Sister, which is another one that the Republicans kind of tried to take for themselves, and we're like, um, so I can see why this one with its lyrics and then just people hear the letters USA, and they're like, oh, this is a great song, America. But yeah, like Joe mentioned, pretty detailed there. There's a good message behind this one. He mentioned the drum track also, which I think it's got to be in the top 10 of our list of the 100, I think, for drums keeping the pace of a song. It's just fantastic the way it thumps in there and just really gets going. He's not an artist that I was really that big of a fan of ever growing up, but I've kind of learned to appreciate him a little bit more as I've gotten older. So he's one I probably would like to listen to more of his stuff just to kind of see what else is out there. So.
Born to Run is one of the greatest albums ever recorded. I will die on that hill.
All right, let's go to you know, what could be an even bigger song for America. Some could argue.
Yeah.
Some could argue. I mean, it's number 47 on our countdown. Robert Tepper, no, that's a real person. No Easy Way Out. Oh, I guess I had this highest at number 38.
All three
This
of us ranked it though.
did we really?
yeah,
Yeah.
Because we have taste. That's why. Did Justin? No.
No.
That's why he can never
He's
come
too
to Man
busy
Weekend.
crying about
Pat Benatar.
giving love a bad name.
There you go. This is fantastic. So listening to this song again, it sounds like it would be a quintessential 80s song that should be from a bad movie, but in fact it's a quintessential 80s song that is from a good bad movie, and that makes it even better. Obviously, we're talking about Rocky Four here, and when he gets into the chorus, man, and you get just that little bit of synth rock that kind of comes in the background, I typed out the F word here. Like that, just fuck, man. It gets me excited. I want to defend something. I want to scream USA. Maybe not in the ironic way that Springsteen's talking about here, but just this song amps me up. Which is funny because I always thought this was kind of like not one of the real big songs from the Rocky movies, but this one's just kept growing on me every year since I've probably heard it. So,
yeah. I,
anybody else?
I don't think I've ever heard this song, like outside of the movie.
Hmm.
Oh, I
Um,
have.
but like it is very enjoyable. I think I couldn't say it any better than what you just said about it. The chorus it like gets you kind of like pumped up, and I do really enjoy the synth just throughout the song. It's rather than the poppy synth, it's more of a fast paced kind of getting you moving kind of sound to it.
So at this point, this might be the song from the Rocky IV soundtrack that I have heard the most. And that is largely thanks to the fact that I have mentioned before on this podcast that I have been taking boxing classes. And the guy who owns the boxing gym I go to really loves Rocky. And this song is played in almost every class. And I'm
Nice.
not mad about it because it turns out actually punching a bag to this song feels pretty great. So, yeah, I mean, obviously, I love Rocky IV, as we all do. It is Alexis and I actually watched that movie on the 4th of July this year because I feel
Nice.
like it is probably the most American movie. So obviously I've always associated the song with that, but I now also associate it with the boxing classes that I love. So I had
That's
to rank it reasonably high on my list.
that's super fun. That's super fun. All right, let's see what else we got here. Number 46, moving on from all that. You think we're back in Justin territory, but Joe had this one the highest. The B-52s with Love Shack. Joey, what do you got, you party animal?
I'm debating if I want to subject you to my Fred Schneider impression or
Uh,
not. Anyway, this is another one of those songs that to me is just like a quintessential 80s song. There's no deeper meaning here. It's just a lot of fun. I do feel like I enjoy it because, I mean, kind of similarly to the Chris Isaac song, weirdly, it feels kind of like a throwback. Like it feels undeniably 80s, but just musically and stylistically, it feels like a throwback to something from like the 60s. Like it has kind of a weird, like freewheeling, groovy 60s rockin' vibe, I feel like. And also I just love Fred Schneider. Also, your tin roof rusted.
Yeah, that I don't have a lot to add to this one. Just this is one of the ones, maybe of like five in my head that like this could be the 80s song. I don't know. Like who doesn't know this song? I don't know anybody that really dislikes the song, I don't think. And Joe
I was
just
gonna
said
say, if anybody truly doesn't like this song, like they need to learn how to have fun.
I
Because
could only think it because you've heard it 7 billion times,
maybe
but
I
other than
feel
that,
like you throw
and
this on at a party and people
yes.
are gonna be getting down.
And like, has there ever been a more unlikely lyric to become famous than the Tin Roof Rust is? Like, that's so silly, but it's great.
yeah, this 100% is in the same, like right in the same ballpark as like Walking Egyptian and Karma Chameleon. It's like the same kind of feel to it. Um, and probably for the same reason those two songs weren't on my list, this one isn't either. But I do have to recognize that it is, iconic in its way, just like those other two are. Um, and also it maybe because like Joe, like you were saying, like the sound is kind of a little bit retro. I don't know that I would have straight out said it was an 80s song had I not known it was. So
Okay, we'll go on to number 45. Another powerhouse here, I feel like in the 80s, but again, only appearance on our countdown. John Mellencamp or John Cougar or John Cougar Mellencamp, call him which iteration you will. Jack and Diane is the song that made it, and Brett was highest on this one. Brett, tell us about that Tasty Freeze.
Suck it on, chili dog.
um I mean, I don't know precisely what to say about it. I just it's I really enjoy the kind of opening guitar riff. Um and it's fun because it's definitely it's a storytelling song. So it actually, it's a song that you can listen to and kind of like go on the journey with rather than just having a bunch of nonsense lyrics. Uh, and the chorus is just really, I feel, is really catchy too, and something that feels like it's something that it's easy to sing to, that you'd want to sing along with.
Yes. Life does go on long after the thrill of living is gone. Oh no, the song's dark. No, I agree with Brett. I mean, the guitar intro is iconic. Like everybody knows what song that is. I like a storytelling song. I mean this I don't have words right now. No, I often kind of like bristle against things that are, longing for simpler times. And this song feels like it's kind of, looking back to when we were young and had young love and we're just sucking on chili dog behind the tasty freeze. But I think there is a deeper message there with the chorus about, how life kind of gets harder as you get older. But maybe you can recapture some of those good old days. Yeah, it's a really good song.
Yep, great song. Another artist that I probably like every song I've heard of by this particular artist that I've heard of at least. I was wondering with this one if it was a little bit of like, because Brett and I grew up in a small town, and this always kind of felt like a small town song to
It
me,
always
right?
did. Yeah, it felt like it was part of the town.
It's not like you crossed the 6-lane highway and then went to the Tasty Freeze, right? It was there, so. Uh, it's a good one. I like this one. It's also a kind of a unique song, I guess, too, in that it has clapping as part of the song, which might be the only song on our countdown, not positive, that features clapping prominently in the song. So it's kind of interesting as well. All right, let's keep moving. Number 44. We have, I think, five multi-time artists left to debut, and this is number five of those right here, coming to number 44 with three appearances yet to come, including this one, AC/DC, coming in with Hell's Bells. Brett has this one very high on his list, so let Brett go first.
Thing. Well, I mean, I'm listening to these songs as we're talking about them. I have them playing in the background so I can kind of collect my thoughts as I'm talking about them. And I mean, I put this on and it opens up with those bells, and like I no joke got goosebumps right here. Like it does that every time. It's such a great opening. And like you know, it is big, the heavy bells when you have that based on any song, I love it. Obviously not like Christmas bells type bells necessarily, but like these big heavy gong sounding bells are just amazing in those same songs. And like this is just straight up like AC/DC, they they really only have like one sound, and like all their songs are the same sound more or less, but variations of that. But I mean this one is so good. Like the chorus on that is just amazing. It like I cannot listen to this and not get like really hyped up, no matter what I'm doing. So, for that reason, it comes in at number 4 on my list for me.
Yeah, it's fantastic. This is great. I was gonna basically do the same thing Brett said at the beginning, though, but it is. This was, they're a little past their prime, some could say these days. They are still touring, but I did get to see them about 10 years ago or so, I
I
would
mean,
say.
two of them are still touring, I think, at this point.
Well, I think there were more than two when we saw them 10 years ago, but they still were at the like, I don't know if they should be on stage, but nothing was gonna stop Angus, man. He was going crazy. But yeah, just the way this one plays with again layering of the instruments and adding more things in. And they did have, I mean, the one we read at least, they had a physical large bell over top, the fans that was like gonging and was like, holy shit, like it was super cool. And this is just also crazy to think about. Like, as far as I can tell, I didn't do any like hard go back through the countdown research on this, but AC/DC has 3 songs on this list, and they're all off the same album. And I don't know if that's true of other ones we have on here or not, but 3 off an album, you can see why that album has sold a gajillion copies over its lifespan. Um, and then just kind of, I don't know, I don't know if there's deep lyrics on this one or not, but just thinking about like raising hell or corrupting others or just kind of like living crazy to do crazy things. Yeah, I don't know. I said at the bottom, the song should inspire you to do something naughty but feel good about doing it. So,
Um, I kind of regret not putting this song on my list. I love AC/DC, and I just listened to the intro while you guys were talking, and
the intro
it
alone made the top 10. You can say
it
it.
is definitely one of the greatest intros of all time. And I don't know why I didn't vote for this song. So there's that.
This is a weird one too because I was, this our countdown is our favorite 80s songs.
So that's why this song wasn't on my list, and that's what I struggled with because Back in Black was like one of the biggest albums of the 80s, but
Yeah.
it doesn't feel like an 80s album. It definitely is a hard rock, like it feels like a 70s hard rock album.
hmm Yeah, that's what's weird about this one because I'm looking at my rankings too, and it's like I have songs ranked above this that I would not say I enjoy more than
Yeah,
this song,
same.
but for some reason, when I hear 80 songs, I put them above. It's weird. I don't know. So
That is the struggle of trying to do this ranking.
it is true. It is true. Speaking of struggle, let's go to number 43 with U2 and Sunday Bloody Sunday.
I think you
Joe,
mean
tell us
speaking
all
of
about the
troubles.
troubles, Joe.
Oh man, this, I mean, to be honest, this is another song in the same category where to me, like it doesn't feel like an 80s song, but I think it is one of the most powerful songs ever written. Um, as Cody and I alluded to, it is about the troubles in Ireland, the ongoing conflict between the Catholics and Protestants and England and Ireland, between Ireland and Northern Ireland. Um, U2 are one of my favorite bands. I have seen them live 4 times, I think, at this point, and I'm hoping I get a chance to see them again. They are one of the bands that anytime I have the possibility to see them live, I will jump on it. And this song is always especially powerful live. But I think that even though it is kind of specifically about the conflict in Ireland, it feels timely or timeless and relevant to the era we're in now. Um, it's just contemplating the like senseless violence that humans seem to continually perpetrate against each other and questioning why that cycle continues. And as I said in my written comments for Where the Streets Have No Name, experiencing this song live is just like a profoundly moving and powerful thing. Um, on the last tour that I saw them on, they kind of built a cycle of songs that were all kind of dealing with the troubles. And I think it was like a 4 song sequence. And it ended with a stripped down version of this song where it was The Edge. I forget if he's playing an acoustic guitar or just like a clean electric guitar, but their drummer, Larry Mullen Jr., had just like a single drum like strapped around his neck. It was just like super stripped down rendition, and it was just like so powerful. And I think it's a testament to the song itself that it can still have that impact like 40 plus years later.
This song has an interesting quality in that I feel like if you even if you didn't pay attention to the lyrics at all, you would still get some of that emotion that they're trying to convey with the lyrics.
Yeah.
It definitely like you feel like it's impactful just by listening to it.
Well, the
Uh,
drum beat, like on the original version, it has like a very militaristic feel to it.
mm,
Like I
true.
feel like you kind of feel what it's about, like you said, even without hearing the lyrics.
Mm,
Kind of tricks your brain maybe a little bit.
yeah. Uh, yeah. I mean, this is one that I had relatively high in my list. Well, right in the middle, I suppose, which is however you want to put that. But uh, you know, definitely something I do enjoy listening to the song quite a bit. Um, yeah, I can't say anything more than what Joe's already said though.
Yeah, I'll just chime. I was going to mention the military drum in this one as well. Just sounds a little different than other drums and songs. Um, just kind of again, like you both said, still pretty relevant. I think the event, just the actual event here with like more of like a civil demonstration that turned bad with the army or whatever you want to say. The enforcers that were, you know, probably not there to do what happened to them as people were being killed. It reminded me a lot of the song Ohio actually here for like the American version of that, right? Which was kind of the exact, more or less different rationale, different thing, but kind of the exact same event here in the United States. So this is one of the U2 songs I enjoy, probably more so than even a lot of their other famous ones. So good song. Got a lot of songs here that the three of us are the only three that ranked tonight. So
Yeah, that's
I,
coincidental tonight. Yeah.
I have
great.
one last bonus comment about this song.
Okay.
I encourage everybody to go watch the live version of Sunday Bloody Sunday from the U2 film Rattle and Hum, which I think is one of the single greatest live performances ever recorded.
Is it Shake, Rattle, and Hum?
It is just Rattle and Hum. But
Okay.
that particular version was recorded on the day of an IRA bombing, which I think was the first IRA bombing in like a long time. And it is just like super raw. Like you can tell Bono is like just feeling it, and it's incredible.
Hmm. Okay. Well, let's try to switch over here a little bit mood wise. I don't know.
Let's talk
Uh,
about Huey Lewis of the
I'll
news.
tell you what I'll do for you guys. I'll read Justin's comments on this one to you. So, 42, Huey Lewis and the News. Again, another big 80s band. A lot of hits. They have The Power of Love here, their only appearance on our countdown at number 42.
Justin lost his virginity to this song.
And I will read you Justin's comments verbatim. Huey Lewis, The Power of Love. Sure, this is another love song, but there's something more to it. For me, if this list is intended to be the songs that best exemplify the 80s, then I feel this one does it in spades. I'm not sure if I've heard it in a movie or what, but there's something about this that makes me think of 80s New York for some reason. Like
It
it
was on the Back to the
feels
Future soundtrack.
like it should be playing over a montage of skyscrapers and food carts and maybe a baseball game or something. That cosmopolitan melting pot that movies from this decade always portrayed New York to be. People might not always be friendly and times might be tough, but there's a sense of community, vivacity, and yes, love underneath it all, to be found in the concrete jungle of the Big Apple. It's the place to go, the place everyone wanted to go in the 80s, according to Hollywood. And for whatever reason, this song just makes me think of that snapshot out of time. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. All right. He's got a lot more to say about this one than I do. I said another fun one. I lumped this in exactly with all other Huey Lewis in the News songs. Super catchy, wonderfully good, not quite great. So,
Uh, just a clarification on the Back to the Future soundtrack. It actually was written for the movie solely, according to my quick Google search here. But definitely I associate it with that movie 100%. Like, and that's one of my favorite movies of all time. So it definitely has like a place in my heart for that alone. But also it is just a very fun, catchy song, and uh, it's like the chorus like really sticks the landing. He's like singing the chorus, and then like hits you up, power of love, like more a little bit more spoken than sung, and it just feels like it like really hits the bullseye. So, yeah, I really enjoy the song.
I like it too.
okay. Moving on. Our last song for our episode here, 60 to 41. We're going to end with an icon here. Number 41, we got Michael Jackson back on the countdown here, this time with Smooth Criminal. And Joe's got this very high. Joe, tell us about it.
I mean, Michael Jackson is another artist that I think it's impossible to separate him from the 80s. Like he kind of owned that decade. Um, he was actually my favorite artist for a few years when I was young, before all the controversies came out. And I want to acknowledge it sounds like he was a terrible person and did some terrible things, but I think it's hard to completely disregard the impact he had on the music industry. He wrote and recorded some really great, just classic all-time songs. Um, and he's another artist that I could have put any number of his songs on my list, but I kind of forced myself to pare it down to, I think I ended up putting two, maybe three. So this is the one that I ranked the highest. It's honestly, I don't really have like a super strong preference for it over some of his other songs, but um I do love the kind of, I mean, I love the music. I love, it's kind of a weird song, but the chorus is iconic, even though it seems to be about some sort of violence going on. I also just always associate this with the music video, which I think was actually, I think the official music video was an excerpt from the film Michael Jackson's Moonwalker, um, which is just kind of iconic in my mind. Him wearing like the white suit and fighting a bar full of like mobsters and ruffians. And it's kind of hilarious in retrospect, just imagining Michael Jackson trying to be a badass and like, taking out a bunch of people. And I also associate it with the classic video game Michael Jackson's Moonwalker again, which I forced Cody to play through with me one time at an arcade.
That's why I didn't rank this song. No. Oh, goodness. Anything on you, this one, Brett? Anything you got there?
Um, just that I do really enjoy the song. It didn't make my list. Because I put some of his other songs on my list, and it kind of in what Joe was talking about. Like I didn't want to put too many of the songs on because I want to leave room for other stuff. But uh, I do like really enjoy. Like I have no idea what the lyrics are, what the song is about lyrically, but the way that they're a lot of the verses are very like fast sung. I find that very fun and catchy.
So, Spotify algorithms being what they are, when I was re-listening to all of these, this is a fun little side note here. I typed in the word smooth. Joe will be both horrified and amazed by this. The first result that it gives you is Alien Ant Farm's cover of Smooth Criminal. The second one that pops up is Rob Thomas, Smooth.
Yay!
And the third
I
one
believe,
is Michael Jackson.
wait. I believe you mean Santana featuring Rob Thomas.
It's hard to even hear the Santana on that
The
song over Rob
1999
Thomas.
multi-platinum award-winning album Supernatural.
Nothing supernatural about that guy. Maybe there is. I don't know. But anyway, I thought that's funny. It's a fine song. It's not my favorite Michael Jackson song. All I said on this one, really, in my notes was I prefer the Alien Ant Farm version. Moving on. Just to make Joe cry at the end of the episode. There we go. Fantastic.
Fuck you, Cody.
Right? Well, we had to have some fun with you while you were here, but it's probably a true statement. Anyway, let's move on. All right, so here we go, folks. That's going to wrap up our third installment, song 60 to 41. We'll do a super brief recap here for you. 60, we had Prince, When Doves Cry. 59, Prince, Purple Rain. 58, Chris Isaak, Wicked Game. 57, Peter Cetera with Glory Love. 56, Pixies with Where Is My Mind. 55, The Bangles, Walk Like an Egyptian. 54, Guns N' Roses, Paradise City. 53, Pat Benatar, We Belong. 52, Metallica's One. 51, Bon Jovi, You Give Love a Bad Name. 50 Peter Gabriel with In Your Eyes. 49 Culture Club Karma Chameleon. 48 Bruce Springsteen Born in the USA. 47 Robert Tepper No Easy Way Out. 46 The B-52s with Love Shack. 45 John Mellencamp Jack and Diane. 44 AC/DC with Hell's Bells. 43 U2 with Sunday Bloody Sunday. 42 Huey Lewis in the News with The Power of Love. And 41 Michael Jackson with Smooth Criminal. Yes,
Like
all
a
right.
knight in shining armor from a long time ago. What?
Is that from Purple Rain?
No, it's from
Joking.
Glory of Love. Good God. It's from the Karate Kid 2 soundtrack.
Did he not even put that in the movie? I'm definitely not watching it then. All right. Anything else from you guys tonight here at the end of this one?
No.
All right. This has been another episode of the Fawn Pod, episode 60 to 41 of our Sizzlin Summer Spectacular. Count down your favorite 80 songs. By yours, I mean ours. Our favorite 80 songs, but basically it's gospel because it's us. So there we go. So
Yes.
Latvia's
All
favorite 80
right.
songs.
there we go. That's Joe. That's Brett. This is Cody. And we will see you next time on the Fawn Pod. Take care.
Bye.
See you.